With heart, basically it's trusting enough in yourself that you'll be able to trust in others and be able to trust that it's all going to work out. You're the only one that's always going to be there for you. That's it. Even for me, like kids, whatever family we have, you can't guarantee that. You are the only one that's physically going to be there with you for the rest of your life. So you might as well make a good friend out of yourself, and you might as well get to like yourself, you might as well get to love yourself, you might as well get to accept, trust, be grateful for everything. It all comes down to. Welcome to Module 2, and Module 2 is on empathy. The goal of this module is for you to be able to learn to be more compassionate, understanding, and mindful with yourself, and in turn, by doing that, you'll automatically be more compassionate, understanding, and mindful with others. I'll see you in the next lesson. Welcome back. In this lesson, we're going to talk about self-awareness. Now, before we talk about self-awareness, I'd like to tell you a little story about, with developing self-awareness, what you can find out. So back when I was 16, I used to love to sing. I mean, I would belt out show tunes, and Barbra Streisand was the one I loved the most. And all of a sudden I stopped singing. I didn't remember why, I just stopped. And throughout my life, theater, I've despised. No reason whatsoever. It annoyed the heck out of me. And about 6 months ago, a good friend of mine said, come on, let me take you to a show. So I said, okay, fine. So we went to see Hello, Dolly. And when Bette Midler was singing the last song of the show, I broke down crying. And I couldn't figure out why. It was the strangest thing ever. So a few months after that show, I was checking out YouTube, and I looked up Barbra Streisand, and I checked out a concert that she had done years ago in Vegas. And guess what happened? You got it. I started bawling, like this time really crying. And what I realized, and that I really wanted to be a singer. I really did. And back at that time is when I felt like just, the world was mine. I could conquer anything. So, and by the way, so I went and I joined a theater group, just to let you know. But that's the type of thing, self-awareness, you can develop. Now, it takes a long time. I've started becoming self-aware about like 5 years ago. This isn't something that's going to happen overnight. You can do a little bit of time. The importance of self-awareness is that on the other side of self-awareness, like here we have autopilot, which most people are on, and then we'll interject like self-awareness. On the other side of self-awareness, there's like a power and there's a strength in knowing that you understand why you are who you are, and the parts that you're not a fan of, you now know where to start to try to change it. So in a nutshell, self-awareness is being able to notice your thoughts, your feelings, and your emotions. You're not going to judge them. You're just going to be aware of them. And some of the strategies that can help you develop self-awareness is journaling. You can journal with questions kind of like, what do I like? Here's a question that still gets to me. What do you want? Oh my God, when people first started asking me that, I was like a deer in the headlights, because no one had ever asked me that. And so start with very simple questions. What are you strong at? What are your weaknesses? What do you like? So 2 other ways are, there's journaling. If you do this one, try to do it daily. It's most beneficial. The next one is mindfulness. Now, mindfulness is another huge concept. Mindfulness is just being present in the moment, and it's looking around you. It's noticing things that you never noticed before. Like when I was a home care nurse, sometimes I got wrapped up in my job and I wasn't so mindful. And I remember there were times I'd go to a patient's house and I'd be like, wow, new sofa? They're like, no, that's been there the whole time you've been. And I felt like so silly, but I wasn't mindful of it. And the third one I love is yoga. Now, yoga connects your mind and body, which is really important. Yoga is different than strenuous exercise because you are actually controlling how your body moves, and that's a really powerful feeling. So again, the three to sum them up: journaling, mindfulness, yoga. The reason you do these is to help quiet the mind and connect your mind and body, stay in the present. And a bonus, a couple other things you can do are ask for feedback from people, but be careful who you ask feedback from. And just know that most people in general do not feel comfortable giving you feedback. And I guess that's, be easy with yourself on this. With these habits, pick one, start with it. If you like it, wait a month or so until it's part of your daily routine, then introduce another. Don't introduce a lot of habits at one time, because this is a huge change. And you're gonna have to get comfortable being a little uncomfortable. And with that, I will sign off, and I will see you in the next lesson. Hi, welcome to the lesson. So listen, right now we are gonna talk about a strategy to help you develop self-awareness and to be more kind and caring to yourself. And this strategy involves a mirror. A lot of people avoid mirrors, but you're gonna face your fear right now if you have a fear of mirrors. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna get yourself in front of your mirror. And the first thing you're gonna say is, I am proud of you because, and then you're gonna fill in the end. And you're gonna think of 7 things that you're proud of yourself for. It doesn't have to be anything that was recent. It doesn't have to be anything major. You can be proud of yourself for not like screaming at your kids when you really wanted to, okay? So it's just, you wanna give yourself a kudos. The second thing you wanna say in front of the mirror is you wanna sit there and you wanna go, I forgive you for. And you can put your name in this. So I would say like, Leslie, I forgive you for, and then fill it in. Again, 7 different things. Now, when you do this each day you can have the same things until it's something that no longer is hard to say. And what I mean by that is when you have trouble saying this stuff in the mirror, it's usually because you still kind of have to work through it. Once you can say it easily, then you can probably go on to a new statement. Okay, the third thing you're gonna say is, I commit to you. Now, examples would be, Leslie, I commit to you that I will go to the gym 3 days a week. Leslie, I commit to you that I will speak up for myself. Leslie, I commit to you that I will not eat any sweets tomorrow. The important thing with commitments is make sure that what you're committing is realistic, because a lot of us have a habit of committing things to ourselves that are totally unrealistic, and then when we don't do them, we don't follow through, then we lose trust in ourselves, and that's not good. So the wrap up for this lesson is mirror talk. You're gonna do it once a day, and you're gonna ask yourself the 3 questions. You're gonna say, I am proud of you because, I forgive you, and then I commit to you. I will see you in the next lesson. Hey, welcome back. So listen, today's lesson, we are going to talk about vulnerability. Now, don't go running off and hiding in some closet. It's nothing to be afraid of. Most people I talk to, they don't even like the word vulnerability because it brings with it this like negative connotation. And, I interview people, mostly women, and I think after 40 interviews I've done, I asked the question, what is vulnerability? And almost exclusively, everyone thinks it's a weakness. But vulnerability is actually a strength. It's a strength. I mean, vulnerability to me, my definition is, you're saying to someone, look, this is who I am. Like it or not, I'm telling you something about myself and what I believe, and risking being criticized by others. And if you can do that, that's extremely powerful because it means you're not living your life based upon fitting in. Like being authentic and vulnerable, to me, kind of go hand in hand. So vulnerability What it also does, and through the years I've seen this, is when you're vulnerable and you're able to share a piece of you, whoever it is you're speaking with, you're opening up the door and you're giving them permission to share a piece of them. So, you know, how many times have you been, now men, if you're listening, I don't know too much about the men, so forgive me, but women, how many times have you said something to a friend or a stranger, coworker, where you share an experience or a feeling, and women pop up and go, oh my God, I feel the same way too, right? Well, whoever is the one who is bravest and most vulnerable enough to share that just gave everyone else permission to share also. And that's like a huge gift to give people. Do you run the risk of sharing something about yourself and having people hold it against you? That seems to be the common myth. But I gotta be honest with you, I am well into my 50s and I have been vulnerable my entire life, and not once has it ever come back to bite me in the butt. All it has done is bring people closer and increase connections. So I don't know if you've heard of Brene Brown. She's a researcher, and I was reminded of a TED Talk she once did. And in this TED Talk, she hates vulnerability, but she studies vulnerability. And in this TED Talk, she shared more than she wanted to about herself, and she really put herself out there. And she tells the story of how she was mortified that she, like on a TED Talk, did this and told people parts of her personal self and personal life. Her TED Talk, I forget the amount, but it was millions and millions of views. I mean, it just kind of went viral. And it went viral because people are hungry and they want to know that they're not alone in what they're experiencing. And that's what vulnerability does. Vulnerability brings people together through commonality and through experiences. So in summary, vulnerability is not a weakness. It is a true strength, and it helps you connect with yourself and it helps you connect with others, which is the whole point of living life with heart. I'll see you in the next module.